Are you struggling to stay alive, create orbs of power, become a contributing member to your fire team, or you just like to blow shit up? Hi, my name's Avatar, and in today's video, I want to show you one of my all-time favorite solar builds. It has constant healing, spreads tons of scorch, but most importantly, it's easy to use and it's hard to mess up. To break down this build, first let's look at the aspects. Using our class ability, we'll activate Helion. Our little solar buddy packs a punch. Causing constant damage and scorching targets, it will ignite the target once enough stacks have built up. This little buddy is a must-have on any trip that you take. Next is Touch of Flame. This is going to give our grenades enhanced functionality. So basically, our healing grenade is improved strength in both cure and in restoration. So more scorch means more ignitions, which is why our first fragment is going to be Ember of Ashes, which will allow us to apply more scorch stacks to targets. Following that will be Ember of Benevolence, and this one is key, folks, because by applying Cure or Restoration, or even Radiant, to our allies, which, by the way, we're going to be doing pretty often, this gives us a 400% increase on ability regeneration for 6 seconds. When played correctly, this can make you have a near constant uptime on all of your abilities. Our next fragment is going to be Ember of Torches, to make us and nearby allies radiant on powered melee hits. That's right, all you have to do is connect your melee to become radiant, which is a 25% damage increase in PvE. And our final fragment is Ember of Empyrean. This is going to allow both our restoration and our radiant effects to have an increased duration. To get the most out of restoration, Ember of Benevolence, as well as orb generation, we're going to be using Speaker's Sight on this build. One of the most popular and powerful exotics to come in the final shape. This is going to allow our healing grenade to become a restorative turret that will periodically heal us and our fire team, also giving us a chance to spawn an orb of power when healing allies. The loop of this exotic plus our aspects and our fragments are insane. Usable in virtually all in-game activities, this is going to make it so much easier to stay alive, but also give you and our allies orbs of power after orb of power to get our super back so much faster. Now, on to our super of choice. We all know Well of Radiant got nerfed. It is no longer the king unless you're doing damage from far away like you're fighting the Witness. But in most movable content where you're running around, we want to be using Song of Flame. Reason being is you get 90% damage reduction plus enhanced abilities, making dealing damage in ad dense activities or tankier ads just so much easier. By the way, if you don't know this, when you use Song of Flame for just straight damage, it is best just to use the melee. Next, let's talk weapons. First, our exotic of choice is going to be Dragon's Breath. This solar rocket embeds itself into struck targets and it periodically ejects incendiary fuel into the target, which causes scorch. And the longer that you go without firing the weapon, the more fuel your next rocket will contain. Plus, its exotic catalyst lets you get that fuel back faster, and it causes fire sprites when you defeat targets, which, by the way, gives you 10% grenade energy when you pick them up. All in all, it's a great rocket launcher, but the exotic trait makes it even spicier. High Octane will reload Dragon's Breath from reserves when you ignite targets, which is going to make great for damage. Constantly reloading by causing those ignitions with not only Dragon's Breath, but also when you use Song of Flame at the same time, pairing it with the melee, causing all those ignitions, just constantly reloading Dragon's Breath, you cannot go wrong. For our other two weapons, I'm going to go two of my favorite PvE weapons. First up, it's the Crafted Supremacy. This Last Wish sniper with 4th times the charm and rewind rounds, it's like you never have to reload. Plus, rapid fire snipers can put out some insane damage. For our primary, I'm going to go with the king of PvE hand cannons, the one, the only, Zaoli's Bane from King's Fall. The 15% damage increase from explosive payload and the ability to spread scorch from incandescent is just too good to pass up. I know these are both raid weapons. I know it can be annoying to get, especially if you play solo. Lucky for you, our Discord, linked below, is full of players that want to do all sorts of in-game activity and are always down to help, myself included. And for our mods, I always want to be running Heavy Ammo Finder because, well, we want more rockets. 2 Solar Siphon mods to create Orbs of Power on Solar Final Blows. And really, Gauntlet-wise, I never take off Fastball. I can't stand throwing grenades slow, even if I'm just using a healing grenade. Plus, Heavy-Handed to create Orbs of Power on melee kills. Really, it's never a bad thing, more Orbs of Power. Plus, you're going to be using your melee often, you'll get Radiant off of it as well. Then I also use the Solar Loader, because frankly, reloading slow, not fun. For the chest piece, I'd recommend using resistance mods that really match the activity that you're doing. You can also throw in a reserve mod for extra ammo too. I do that myself. Leg mods though, I typically run double surge mods for increased damage. However, with the possibility it sounds like of those actually going away in the future, we're going to have to see what to replace them with. Maybe a scavenger mod for extra ammo, maybe even a solar or a holster mod or whatever weapon you want to be using in the future. But finally, our bond. We're going to have on Bomber to reduce our grenade cooldown when we're using our class ability, Reaper to create an Orb of Power when we get a weapon final blow after using our class ability, Powerful Attraction to automatically collect those Orbs of Power when we're using our class ability, and you can opt for either Healing Rift or Phoenix Dive. Prefer either of those because they both heal you. I personally like using Phoenix Dive because it does have a shorter cooldown, and you can chase down your enemies and heal them pretty quickly with that. But frankly, I am beyond in love with this build. I know the artifact mods will change, plus Prismatic actually still exists, but this build will stand the test of time. The synergy it has, the constant uptime on abilities, great damage and healing for you and your allies, this build will still shine after Revenant drops on Tuesday. Again, the dim link is below if you want to try it out for yourself, but always feel free to change things up that fit your playstyle, or hell, even improve it. But thanks for checking out today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.